Hello, Americans, and other friends and subscribers around the world. So we're back again. I actually did the beginning of this video, and Miss Kitty, and after when we were previewing it, decided to do it again. Just don't really want to mention names or anything, and there's an accident up here in our county last night or yesterday, and one of the folks, you know, some good people up here, his 11-year-old son had an accident on a horse and has injured his brain. 11 years old, man, and it's not looking good. So, man, I just, you know, Miss Kitty just didn't think that we should say, you know, anybody's names or anything like that. And, you know, because, man, we've, you know, just went through our stuff. But the well wishes, man, the well wishes that we got through ours actually made us feel good. So, man, I definitely want to send out my thoughts and prayers to the family. Yeah, it's pretty sure I don't know all the details, you know, just what I heard this morning here, till I find out or hear more. But got life flighted down below, and yeah, it's not looking good at all. So, oh man, when it's your kids, it's man, like I said, after our scare, man, unless you've been through something like that with your children, you know, it's, man, it's, you know, just ain't, man, it's a hard one to take. That, I don't care how old they are, you know, mine are all adult children. And, I mean, we had a few scares, you know, when our kids were kids. You know, Katie Joe fell in the back of a pickup truck. I mean, Kevin choking, Cara faint, you know, and having a seizure. I mean, you go through the, you know, and those things, man, and it's so dramatic. And then this last one we went through, even as they're adults, you know, I mean, it's, man, but, man, spring break, you know, the little fella's on spring break, man, just riding the horses. You know, we live, I mean, horses and, you know, outdoors and everything up here, and it's, man. So, man, that's really, I just wanted to start off this video, man, from the bottom of our hearts, man, thoughts and prayers. It just, and hang in there. It's a tough one. Well, anyways, what I got going on around here today, and Miss Kitty woke up and actually got sick a couple times, so I'm hoping that it's not, but she's got the symptoms of the flu, man. And then with Katie and Tim did go back to work today, I heard. I haven't talked to Katie, but Kitty's been talking to her, and I think she's feeling better, but she's been sick. So, man, I got Kitty in there, and I have to stay on her hindquarters, just stay in her, got her in there in the recliner, and you know, man, it's getting pretty warm out, man, but she's got the chills, and I got the propane heater, and everything, so she's, if I can keep her down so she can get feeling better, but she's not feeling good, man. I hope I don't get that crap, man. But so my plan today is, like I said, man, in the yesterday's video, everything around here could change in a split second. So obviously, man, always listening, because I gotta chase a dollar. What else? Oh, actually, the seat, what I'm getting ready to do out here right now while I'm out in the van is I'm gonna get it warmed up so I can turn it around, but I'm going to pull this seat that I'm sitting in and weld that, you know, that's because it's got this rock to it, man. I've talked about it and I just haven't done nothing about it yet. And it's got basically a rip in the tin or the metal. So I'm going to put something behind it, you know, weld, just use my little 110 welder and weld it so that it's good. And then, and I'm pulling the whole seat, obviously, to do that. So I'm going to move it back on the bracket, which should gain me a little bit here. And then I'm going to flip the van around, and I'm going to pull everything out of the van. It needs to be vacuumed, man. It's horrible in here right now. And, I don't know how much of it I'll do today. I'm kind of wanting to get the, because I'm going to put that, what do you call it? The birch paneling in here is what I'm wanting to put in here. So I want to get the birch so that I can put it behind the cabinet, but I may go ahead and start framing up the cabinet because I just want it, man, so that we can, you know, roll on down the road. You know, man, I almost threw the old cabinet back in here with the fridge and everything in here. Just, man, that last trip up to Kevin's, you know, not having our coffee pot and all our stuff was a pain. But now that the weather's changing, man, I can start getting this thing all stuck, or, you know, stocked back up with everything we need, you know, for bug out stuff to just, man, basically, you know, we like to be prepared all the time, you know, not necessarily like a prepper bug out thing, but just be so if we head up fishing or whatever, we get up there and mushroom hunting, fishing, treasure hunting, whatever, and just decide to camp out, that we have everything we need right on, you know, right in here. And a coffee pot and a way to fix coffee is very high on our list. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go on a list. I actually am going to have to take, or because she usually does our pictures, but I'm going to go in and take some pictures, list some stuff, and I'll just go back and forth in and out. You know, 400 things going on all the time around here. I need to pound out, because I got to pound out that railroad spike, and then I have those Ford wrenches. Don't know if I'll get to that today, but I want to have it shipped out by Monday, so definitely, if it's not today, in the next day or two. And then, you know, we're hoping to go fishing or something for Easter, but it depends on how everybody feels. And we are going yard selling tomorrow. I told Miss Kitty, man, with the bed, if I have to, she can just lay in the bed and ride along and talk to me as I cruise down the road, because I've got to do a little treasure hunting tomorrow. You know, especially with the weather like this, because the yard sales are going to start popping up. And then between all of that, I'm going to start, which I'm going to need the wood, some of the wood to do this and do some other things. And I'm going to start going through that pile of wood where I can put that trailer. So that's just today. so that's the plan around here today. So it's not going to be a carry the camera around, you know, showing projects video today or anything. Mostly I just wanted to get on here and you know, send our thoughts and prayers out there, because man, when it's your kids, I'll tell you what you know, we went through with our, you know, whether, man, especially when they're just babies, man, 11 years old. But I mean, even with our adult children, you know, any of your children, man, you're not, you know, it don't matter how old you are, you know, they can be, you know, 40 or 50 years old. It don't matter. That's still your babies, man. And that, man, that's a tough one. I mean, yeah, it's scary stuff. So that's the main reason I wanted to get on here, man, because I didn't, you know, with Miss Kitty not feeling good and all that, I didn't even know if I was going to do a video today, which we try to do one every day, but sometimes that just don't happen. So, man, really, that, you know, it's just going to be work, and list, and hopefully some yard selling, some treasure hunting tomorrow. I'm excited about that. Oh, and I got the alternator in this thing, and that was, would have went a lot smoother when I put it back together, if I'd have put it back together right the first time. But it's crazy, man. This one has two, you know, you always have a spacer when you put your alternator back on. All right, so man, I, you know, put my hand down there to catch the spacer, you know, that the bolt slides through, and I catch the one and jiggle and, you know, all that, and I get the old one, man, it's seized up. And I get the one pulled out, and when I go to pull it out, I hear something hit the ground. I'm like, what the heck? So, man, I poke my head under there, man, there's another little spacer. And I'm like, man, where'd that one come from? You know, so I set it aside and, you know, do my thing, get it all wired up, get the new one all wired up and everything, and pop it in there, man, put the bolt in, put the spacer, put the bolt. And then I got this other spacer, man, I'm putting it back in the back part, and, man, it's too wide. You know, and I thought, man, that's crazy. You know, maybe that arm thing, or the two fingers on it, maybe they're wider. You know, and I used my finger and kind of looked at it, you know, and don't look wider, but maybe. So, you know, being the hillbilly that I am, I just go in there with my channel locks and my cutting wheel, and I chop that mother in half, man, so then it'll fit. Okay. So I come back in, man, I get it all wedged in there good and stuff, and, man, I'm like, all right, man, this is going to work. And so then, you know, I'm poking my head in there looking, and my belts, you know, because you gotta line your belts up, you know, with your alternator and everything with the motor. And my belts are not lined up, and I'm like, oh, no. And right then I realized that in my mind, when I was taking it out, the way that one mounted was completely different than, you know, any of the other ones, because the two tabs on the alternator, one of them actually went in behind the flap on the, you know, the motor bracket. So anyway, so then once I did that, then the spacer that I'd cut in half, which I knew when I was doing it, I thought, you idiot, what are you doing? But when I cut that one, I thought, you know, oh man, I shouldn't be doing this. So what I have to do, I had to go over there, man. I'm looking around in there on the ground, man. I find the other side, man, grind it down, put it back. Everything's back together now. You know, hey, it is what it is. But it's all back together. And charging, man, charging great, man. No more sound. So I was happy, because I was really concerned about the moisture and stuff that had, you know, man, I'd sat that out in or I thought was a dry spot. And when you live like this, man, you know, man, dry spots change a lot, especially when you got as much snow and rain and wind that we had this past season. So, but it all turned out good. It's all back together, man, ready for another day of adventure. So if we do that tomorrow, we'll take you along. So good Lord willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again tomorrow.